Hello guys. So I'm going to be doing something new this year. In the past years I've done, specifically with my books, I've done the wrap up to be read. I'm not going to be doing that this year, but I am going to be basically doing, like as you can see from the title of the video, what'd you do this month? Basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tell you what I watched, read, listened to, actors, actresses, or wrestlers that I fall in love with in that month. So as you can see from the title of this video, what'd you do this month? January 2015. So that's what I'm going to be doing every month. Hopefully I can keep up with this. We will see. But yes, and also this is the way for you guys, if you did watch my top picks of 2013 or 2014 videos, this is the way, so when we get to the end there, you might have an idea of what might be on my list. So let's get started. So in the month of January, I watched 4 new movies. The first one that I saw on I think either the 1st or 2nd of January was The Woman in Black 2, which I hated. I'm sorry, it was not a good movie, and it wasn't just because Daniel Radcliffe was in it, which was one of the main reasons I went and saw the first one, was because Daniel Radcliffe was in it. But it just wasn't a good plot. And the jump scares were stupid, and like the acting was good, but just it was stupid. It was just a stupid movie. I hated it. I hated the ending. I would give it a 1 out of 5 stars. The only reason it's getting 1 is because I did like the acting. So yeah. The next movie I saw in January was Horns, which stars Daniel Radcliffe. Me and my brother had wanted to see this movie because the trailer looked interesting. We didn't really know what to expect, and it's a very weird movie. It's an interesting movie, but it's also very weird. But I enjoyed it. I'd probably give it a 3 or 3.5 out of 5 stars. I thought it was good. And yeah, that's saying something for me because I don't like horror films. And now actually looking at my list of the 4 movies I saw this month, they're all horror films. Interesting. But yeah, so I enjoyed Horns. If you haven't seen it, I would recommend it. I mean, you might think it's stupid, but hey. The 3rd movie I saw in January was actually for my horror genre class. Actually, the 3rd and 4th movie I saw in January were both for my horror genre class. And the first one was Candyman, which I had to watch. I hated it. It was stupid. I didn't like it at all. Like, the actor who played Candyman was great. Like, he was creepy, but I just didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I think that came out in 92, so. And then the other one that I saw was The Shining. I've never seen The Shining, and because of my horror genre class, I've now seen The Shining. I actually just finished watching The Shining. And I liked it. I don't really think it's scary. It's creepy as hell. Like, there's a lot of parts where I was just totally creeped out. But I found it more confusing than anything else. I think I have the book. Maybe if I read the book, maybe I'll understand what the hell was going on in that movie. But I just found it very confusing and creepy. So, yeah. So, moving on. So, TV shows I started watching in January. The first one is Witch of the East End, which, yes, I know, has been canceled. It depresses me now that I watch it. I went into it because my friend Tiara told me to watch it. And I was thinking in my head, like, oh, this will probably suck, and then I won't get attached, and it won't matter that it was canceled after 2 seasons. But I finished the first season, and I was like, oh, damn it, I like it. And I only have 1 more season, then I have nothing else, so it's kind of depressing that I got into a show that was canceled after only 2 seasons with no, like, resolution. So that's gonna suck when I watch season 2. But I did enjoy it. But I should learn by now not to watch Lifetime shows. They always get canceled. They always do. The next show I started watching was Rain. Tumblr and my friend Tiara have both been basically throwing Rain in my face, and I didn't want to watch it because I thought it looked really stupid. And knowing the CW, I know it wasn't going to be historically accurate, and it would just be teenage drama, and I was like, I don't want to watch it. But I finally gave in, and I borrowed the first season from my friend Tiara, and it was actually really good. Like, the only thing that ever bugs me about it is their dresses. Like, I know it's a CW, and I know it's not going to be historically accurate, but there are just sometimes when I see these gowns the girls wear that I'm just like, no, you wouldn't wear that. Like, I don't care how pretty it is. You would not wear that. So that's actually honestly been my only complaint about the show, is I just get really nitpicky about their dresses. Even though they're gorgeous, I'm like, no, you wouldn't wear that. But overall, I really like it. I'm kind of trying to catch up with season 2. I probably won't, but it's actually really good, which surprised me. But I actually like that the CW kind of has this wide variety of different kind of shows for everybody, really. So it was a pleasant surprise. And actually, the next show on my list was another pleasant surprise, which was The 100, which is also on the CW. It was another show that Tumblr has been obsessed with, and so I was like, fine, I'll finally watch it. And I checked it out from the library, and I watched it. It's only 13 episodes long, the first season. And it's really interesting. You have like these two separate storylines, one on their space station, the Ark, and the other with all the 100 like juvenile delinquents who have been sent to Earth to see if it's livable. And just the different storylines and the dynamics between all the characters is just really interesting. I didn't really expect to like it as much as I did, but I do. Like, the characters are interesting, and it made me angry, and it made me cry. And to me, if a show gets after like the third episode, if a show gets me like really angry or upset, then I know I've connected, so it's all good. The last show that I watched in January was Eye Candy, which is a show on MTV that stars Victoria Justice. I wasn't sure what this show was about, and I didn't really plan on ever watching it, but one day it was on MTV at like 5 and there was nothing else on, so I watched the first episode, and I'm intrigued. I've only seen the first two. I haven't watched episode 3 yet. It's definitely an interesting show. I don't know. It's a show where I'm basically just gonna have to keep watching to see if I want to keep watching, if you get what I mean. Like, it doesn't like immediately grab my attention like Witches of East End or Rain or 100 did, but it's a show that has piqued my curiosity, so I'm gonna keep watching it and we'll see where it goes from here. But yeah, I'm not completely sold on Eye Candy yet, but we'll see what happens next. So that's it for my shows. Now, the books I read in January, I read 3. I know, I'm awesome. I reread Crank by Ellen Hopkins. I wanted to feel somewhat of an accomplishment, so I reread a book that I haven't read in a while, and I knew I'd get through it quick because Ellen Hopkins books, if you haven't read them, they're written in poetry verse, and so it's even though they look thick and intimidating, you get through them very quickly, and I loved it. I gave it, I believe, a 4 out of 5 stars, I think, on my Goodreads. When I originally read it, I gave it a 5, but rereading it, I decided to give it a 4, because I didn't realize that there were actually parts that I found kind of boring, so that kind of lessened. I think it might be 4 or 4.5, I can't remember exactly. But I still enjoyed it. I love Ellen Hopkins' writing, and I think I'm going to try to reread more of her books this year, so we'll see. The next book that I read was I finally finished Game of Thrones. After starting it in June, I finally finished Game of Thrones. I loved it. Oh my goodness. I went into this book not thinking I would like it because I'm not a huge fantasy fan, and I didn't think I would like it, but I loved the show. I already watched the first 3 seasons, and the show has me so hooked, and I love it. And the book was just, I loved it so much because it made me love these characters that I grew to love on the show even more, and gave me an even better understanding of these people. And I love that. And the way George R.R. Martin writes, I just love his writing style. And yeah, I can't wait to go to a bookstore and get the second book as soon as I can, because I really, really loved it. So yeah. But yeah, I finally finished Game of Thrones. The next book I read was for my horror genre class, and technically I wasn't supposed to finish it yet. We're just reading sections of it, but it's such a quick, easy read that I read the whole thing. And that was Through the Woods by Emily Carroll. I really I think I gave it a 4 to 5 stars on my Goodreads. The only reason I gave it a 4 and not a 5 was because the stories are pretty simplistic, and they're not overly complicated. And that's not to say it takes away from the book, but I don't know, it's just really quick and easy to read, and so I think that's one of the reasons why I give it a 4 and not a 5. But the artwork is stunning. I love the artwork in the book. But yeah, I give it a 4. So yeah, those are the books I read in January. Let me see. Is there anything? I have 2 new OTPs from 2 of my shows. From Rain, my OTP is Kenna and Bash because those 2 are lovely, lovely, lovely together. And then the other one I did not think I would ship because I knew it was a huge ship in the fandom. I honestly didn't think I would ship it because I hated one of the people from the ship. And the ship is Clark and Bellamy. And I didn't think I would ship this because I could not stand Bellamy for the first half of the season. I was like, why do people love his character so much? He's a dick. Why do people want him with Clark? He's a dick. I don't understand. I don't get it. But as the season the more I watched the first season, the more you got to see Bellamy's character develop and then see his character develop with Clark's character. I was just like, I get it. I get why so many people ship them. And now I'm one of them. So, yeah. So, yes. Also, I should mention, Caitlin Stacy from, I think that's how, yeah, Stacy from Rain, who plays Kenna. I've been following her on Twitter. She's freaking awesome. Like, holy crap. I started following her on Twitter after I finished the show, and everything she tweets, I love. Like, she tweets the most interesting things that really make me think about, like, feminism and stuff like that, and I've just fallen in love with her Twitter and fallen in love with her. Like, I already loved her playing Kenna, and now her the person, I'm falling in love with her. So, yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. So, yeah, that is what I did in January. Those are the things I watched and read and discovered. What did you do this month? Did you read anything good? Did you see any good movies? Start watching any good TV shows? Find any actors, actresses, or ships that you're in love with now? Tell me down below. And if you have an opinion on any of the things I mentioned in this video, let's talk about them down below. Let's have a conversation. So, yeah, I'm going to try to do this every month. We'll see how it goes. But, yeah, so that's it. Like, favorite, comment, subscribe. Till next time. Bye, guys.